Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my halfway MLB team of the year. So it's an all MLB team. I'm going to be making a team of the best players at each position halfway through the MLB season. And it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the season if some of the players are still on the team, if some other players may have had an amazing second half and pushed away forward. So some of the players on this list are unfortunately injured now. Some players that you expect to be on the list may not be on there, such as Mike Trout, because he hasn't played enough games. Obviously, he's the best player in the league. Unfortunately, he got a season hurt by quite a bit of injury problems. So hopefully he'll be back soon. But it's pretty cool. You see some names on this list that you not necessarily expect, especially at the start of the season. And I'm going to be going through each position. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, would appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to get notified whenever new videos go live, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with my picks? Do you disagree? It's very difficult to choose for all the talent MLB. So in terms of hitters, I'm gonna go catcher, first, second, third, short, left, center, right. So I'm going to be specific with the outfield positions as well. Going to be picking 1 DH, and then I'll do pitchers after, 5 starters, and then 8 relievers. We'll go position by position. We're going to do all-MLB. So it's like an all-star team, but National League and American League combined, starting off at catcher position. My pick at catcher is Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants. Having an amazing year after skipping 2020 due to a pandemic. He opted out, so he didn't play at all last year. He still had a decent average, not a lot of power. Look at 2018, 2019, only combined for 12 home runs those 2 years, but he's gone off this year. He had an injury, so in 64 games played so far, he has 10 doubles, 13 home runs, 30 RBI, a 323 average, 412 on base, 543 slugging, and 955 OPS. So Buster Posey is playing like in his prime over in San Francisco. One of the reasons they're actually first place, a big surprise in MLB. A lot of players of San Francisco seem to have found a fountain of youth, and they're playing very good. So Buster Posey is my pick for catcher from the San Francisco Giants. Now, in terms of first baseman, this was a very easy pick, and I'm not being biased because I'm a Blue Jay fan. This guy does deserve it. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. having an MVP caliber season. I think if it wasn't for Shohei Ohtani being the absolute insane player he is, batting and pitching, I think Guerrero would be the front runner for MVP. Potentially could still have it, but I see Ohtani running away with it just because he's a two-way player. But Guerrero Jr., his numbers are unbelievable. He is the best hitter in MLB in 2021. 112 hits in 95 games played, 18 doubles, 32 home runs, 79 RBI. He has a 326 batting average, 425 on base, 663 slugging, and 1088 OPS. I mean, if you look at his numbers throughout all of Major League Baseball, not just first baseman, second in home runs, third in batting average, and first place in OPS. I mean, those numbers are unbelievable. We're seeing a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that we'd hope to see coming up as a prospect of obviously the son of a Hall of Famer, Vladimir Guerrero. And so excited as a Blue Jay fan with the youth that team has. Guerrero, Bichette, the list goes on. They got some good veterans. I think they need more pitching, but after that, I think that team is going to be very dangerous in AL East for years to come. Now at second base, I have Marcus Semien. He was player of the month, I believe it was in May, and he is unbelievable. Again, another Toronto Blue Jay. That Blue Jay offense is scary good. 95 games played, 24 doubles, 24 home runs, 61 RBI. He actually stole 10 bases as well. Has a 275 average, 343 on base, 530 slugging, and 873 OPS. So if you look at his ranks among second basemen, he's first in home runs, second in OPS, and 6th in stolen bases. So he's definitely a complete player. I'm looking for the Blue Jays to hopefully re-sign him long term. He's an important part of that Blue Jay offense. I have Marcus Semien of the Blue Jays at second base. Now at third base, from the Boston Red Sox, Rafael Devers. So he is an elite young player, very exciting to watch, big power lefty bat, and so far in 2021 in 96 games played, he actually has 26 doubles, 26 home run. So that's funny. Semien and Devers both have the exact same number of doubles and home runs. He has 80 RBI, a 279 average, a 352 on base, 574 slugging, and a 926 OPS. And as of today, Rafael Devers actually leads all MLB with 80 RBI. So Rafael Devers definitely deserves a spot as a third baseman on my all MLB team. Now at shortstop, probably the face of baseball right now, one of the most exciting young players. I'm a huge fan of him, Fernando Tatis Jr. He is absolutely unbelievable what that guy does with the bat, with the glove, on the bases. He is electric, always has a smile on his face. I'm hoping that he can have a long career and be as exciting as he is now. 83 games played in 2021. He has 88 hits, 18 doubles, 30 home runs, 67 RBI, 23 stolen bases. He's actually the fastest player in MLB history, have 50 career home runs and 50 career stolen bases. 289 average, 371 on base, 645 slugging, and an OPS at 1016. I mean, the kid can do it all. He is one of the best players, not only best young players, but best all-around players in the league. And I think that he is a clear and obvious choice as the best shortstop so far, and most likely will stay at the end of the year as the best shortstop in the league. Now in left field, I've got a guy that had an insane month of June, Kyle Schwarber. 9 doubles, 25 home runs. At one point, he was hitting a home run or two every single game in June. 53 RBI, has a 253 average, so not as much a high average, but his power is insane. 340 on base, 570 slugging, and a 910 OPS. He leads all left fielders in home runs as well with 25. Next closest to him would be Jesse Winker with 20, but I decided to go with Kyle Schwarber, especially with the big month of June he had and that power he has for Washington. Big lefty bat. I think Kyle Schwarber definitely deserves a spot on the team. Now in center field, I would usually have Mike Trout, but unfortunately he is hurt. But we've got a chance to see an amazing player break out with the Baltimore Orioles, Cedric Mullins. He has, in 97 games played, 28 doubles, 16 home runs, 35 RBI, has 16 stolen bases, a 317 average, 379 on base, 538 slugging, and a 917 OPS. So far, we've been naming all-stars, and Cedric Mullins definitely deserved this spot in the all-star game. I'm glad he got a chance to make it, be a starter in center field after, unfortunately, the injury to Trout. But yeah, definitely deserved this spot there. He is an exciting player and a bright star for the Baltimore Orioles for years to come. Cedric Mullins has made a spot as my center fielder on my all-MLB halfway team. He's 4th in home runs, 2nd in stolen bases, 1st in batting average among all center fielders, and 2nd in OPS. That's a crazy good year for Cedric Mullins. Moving over to right field, a player that unfortunately his season is done. Very, very sad and terrible news for baseball and for himself. Ronald Acuna Jr. was having himself an amazing season. In 82 games played, had 19 doubles, 24 home runs, 52 RBI, stole 17 bases with a 283 batting average, 394 on base, 596 slugging, and a 990 OPS. Just like Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr., some of the best young stars in the league, an electric player. He's super fun to watch. Just terrible news that he's out for a year. Wishing him a full and speedy recovery. Hopefully be back in full force in 2022 and hopefully have a long and healthy season. Ronald Acuna Jr. is my pick for a right fielder. Now let's move on to DH. And at DH, we have not only a hitter, a DH/pitcher, one of the craziest talent I've seen in sports, Shohei Ohtani. Now, this guy may be the most talented athlete in the world right now. He is doing stuff that we've never seen. He's doing stuff that he is like Babe Ruth, but like on another level, because with today's game, how he's dominating at both hitting and pitching is just scary. In 92 games played as a hitter, has 22 doubles, 35 home runs, leading all of Major League Baseball, 75 RBI. Oh, and he also stole 13 bases. Has a 277 batting average, 362 on base, 684 slugging, leading the league, and a 1046 OPS with a 174 OPS plus. I mean, that guy is leading majors in home runs and has a 3.21 ERA on the mound with a 4.01 record, 73 innings pitched, 95 strikeouts with a whip of 1.164, striking out 11.7 batters per 9 innings. You're telling me this guy is gonna go out on the mound, average 11 strikeouts per 9, and lead the league in home runs? I mean, we've ran out of words to describe Shohei Ohtani and just the insane talent that this guy has. He's super fast as well. I mean, if they take him out of the game pitching, he's gonna go over in the outfield so they can keep his bat. And we're so lucky and so fortunate to be able to watch him on a daily basis, either folks over in Anaheim watching him live or just all fans around the world watching him on TV. He is a guy that if he's on TV, you're going to stop what you're doing to watch him. He's actually pitching tonight, the day I'm recording this, which is July 26th. So looking forward to that. And that rounds out my hitters. Let's move on to pitchers. Now, my first starting pitcher on my list is a clear, obvious choice. The best pitcher in the world, one of the best pitchers of all time, Jacob deGrom. What this guy is doing on the mound this year is just insane. He has a 1.08 ERA, and for a bit of time, it was like at 0.6, 0.5, has 7-2 record. In 92 innings pitched, he struck out 146 batters, has a 0.554 whip, and strikes out 14.3 hitters per 9. I mean, the guy gives up half a hit or walk on average per inning, and not only can he do it on the mound, he can hit. On the mound, he has 11 earned runs so far this year, and he has 6 RBI at bat. So he has over half as many RBI as earned runs, has a 364 batting average with a 364 on base, 394 slugging, and a 758 OPS. I mean, the guy has a 364 average at bat, has an ERA just over 1 on the mound. He is just insane. The other day he was hurt, only lasted a few innings, but he still struck out 8 of the first 9 batters he faced, throwing over 100. His slider is like in the mid-90s. I mean, that guy is just untouchable, and I definitely hope he's going to come back healthy soon, because just like Ohtani, Jacob deGrom is much-watched TV, one of the best players in the world right now in baseball, and he is definitely a lock as a starting pitcher, my halfway team of the year. Now for my next pitcher, I'm going to go with another all-star. I'm going to go with Kevin Gausman of the San Francisco Giants. I want to include him on my list because just how good and surprising the San Francisco Giants have been. You see in the past years, he was good, but he wasn't at an all-star level. This year, 9-4 record, 2.21 ERA, 122 innings pitched with 140 strikeouts, a 0.918 whip, and 10.3 strikeouts per 9. Again, he was an all-star. Definitely would have been one of the Cy Young favorites in the National League if it wasn't for Jacob deGrom. He's probably going to run away with it. But yeah, I'm very impressed with Kevin Gausman, and I definitely want to include him on my list. So, I mean, he has the 6th best whip in MLB right now, the 3rd best batting average against him. Hitters are only hitting 1.73 off of him. That's very, very good. Now, the next 3 pitchers are actually from the same team. We've got a big 3-headed monster starting pitching over in Milwaukee, pitching for the Brewers, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, and Corbin Burnes. So, not only are they dominating on the mound, I think it's so cool to have 3 pitchers that are that good. They could be 3 legitimate aces on another team. And I mean, it's pretty cool to have 3 pitchers from the same team make the top 5. So I wanted to include him in this video. It's good content, but by the end of the day, they honestly deserve it. Let's start off with Brandon Woodruff. He has a 7.5 record, a 2.14 ERA, 146 strikeouts in 126 innings pitched, 2nd best average against at 170. 0.84 whip. His stuff is electric, and again, throws very hard just as the other 2 Brewers do, and I think that Brandon Woodruff is definitely deserving of the list. I noticed I'm going with 5 National League pitchers in this video. Freddie Peralta, 7-3 record, the best opponent's batting average against at 129. Has a 3rd best whip at 0.89, 7-3 record, 2.29 ERA. He has 140 strikeouts in 102 innings pitched. I mean, those are just electric numbers. He was an all-star himself, just as the other 2 players I mentioned. And at the all-star game, he struck out 3 batters he faced in that inning. So it just goes to show how insane he is against some of the world's best. My next pick is Corbin Burnes, 6'4" record with a 2.12 ERA. 0.90 whip, so he has just 0.01 whip difference from Freddie Peralta, and yeah, they're all pretty similar. 140 strikeouts for Burnes in 102 innings pitched. So just like Freddie Peralta, they both pitched exactly 102 innings. Corbin Burnes, 0.90 whip, 1.98 hitters average against. Just like Peralta, Woodruff throws hard, electric stuff, and I mean, those 3 Milwaukee pitchers are 3 of the best 4 whips in MLB, and 2 of the top 4 for strikeouts. I mean, that just goes to show how dominant that starting pitching staff is over in Milwaukee. And we'll see one more Milwaukee Brewer pitcher before the end of this video over in the bullpen. Now moving on to relief slash closing pitchers, I'm actually gonna go in alphabetical order. So they're not in order of any stats, just make it simple, alphabetical order for my 8 relievers. Starting off in Chicago, we got a couple of guys, one for the Cubs, one for the White Sox. Starting off with the Cubs, we have Craig Kimbrell having a phenomenal year. He has that 0.50 ERA. He has 23 saves, which is actually third in MLB for closers, 61 strikeouts in 35.2 innings pitched. So he's averaging almost 2 strikeouts per inning pitch, 0.64 whip, and a 101 hitters batting average against. So he's giving up just over half a hit or walk per inning pitch on average. Moving on to the White Sox, we have Liam Hendriks there. He has a 2.49 ERA, but he has 24 saves, which is second in MLB right now, 70 strikeouts in 43 innings pitched, 0.74 whip, and a 170 batting average against. Just as Craig Kimbrell having a phenomenal year. All these relievers are just lights out for their teams. Now moving on to Houston, I have Ryan Presley making my team. He has 18 saves, so not as much as the other guys, but he has a 1.50 ERA, 54 strikeouts in 42 innings pitched, has a 0.79 whip, 173 hitters batting average against. I mean, that whip is so good, 0.79. It's like I'm looking all of the top closers and relievers right now, and there's only Kimbrell and Hendriks that have a lower whip in like the top 13 for saves. So you look at how dominant Ryan Presley is on the mound. He has a 4-1 record as well, so he has a winning record. Definitely deserves to make the cut on my team. Next up, heading to LA with Kenley Jensen of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Has a 2.97 ERA, 22 saves on the year, 45 strikeouts in 39.1 inning pitch. Has a 130 whip and a 179 hitters average against. I mean, he had some shaky moments in the past few seasons, but it looks like Kenley Jensen is doing good. 22 saves, which is actually 5th in all of MLB. And moving on to Milwaukee, I mentioned him earlier, Josh Hader, the big lefty, one of the most intimidating and dominant closing pitchers in the league. 1.45 ERA, 21 saves, 37.1 innings pitched with 64 strikeouts. He's averaging close to 2 strikeouts per inning pitch, which is just insane. 0.80 whip and a 128 hitters batting average against. Similar delivery, I would say, to a guy like Randy Johnson or even a Chris Sale. Big lefty windup, kind of a sidearm delivery, and I mean, being a left-handed hitter myself, I would not want to step in the box against him for sure. So we have only 3 more guys to go, and we have a couple of more from the NL West. Heading over to San Diego, Mark Melancey, 30 saves, leading all of baseball by 6 over Liam Hendriks. 36 strikeouts in 43 innings pitched, so doesn't strike out as much, guys. But look at his saves. I mean, 30 saves in 34 opportunities, 2.09 ERA, 2.13 average. So Mark Melancey, one of the better closers in all of baseball, so dominant, and again, one of the best. And again, he deserves to be on that spot. I mean, San Diego, San Francisco, LA, they're going to be just a dogfight for the NL West title. And those 3 teams all have pitchers on my relievers list. Now, heading over to San Francisco, I have Jake McGee, a left-handed pitcher there. 2.45 ERA, 20 saves, has 0.84 whip. 45 strikeouts in 40.1 innings pitched, so one of the better whips in all of the closers we've seen. 1.81 average, so those stats combined land him a spot for me on my list. Now last but certainly not least, I have Alex Reyes of the St. Louis Cardinals. 23 saves, which is tied for 3rd with Craig Kimbrell. In 45.2 innings pitched, 58 strikeouts, 1.38 whip, and a 157 batting average against. So Alex Reyes is filthy, 1.97 ERA, under 2. Very, very good stats. Like I mentioned, tied with Craig Kimbrell, and definitely deserves a spot. His stuff is electric, and I love using his card in MLB The Show 21. I love his variety of pitches. It has 5 pitches, I believe, and yeah, they move a lot. It throws really fast, and definitely one of the better pitchers we've seen in terms of closers. He rounds out my list. So those are my picks for my MLB halfway team of the year. Gonna just summarize it really quickly. Catcher, we got Buster Posey. First, we got Vladdy Jr. Second, Marcus Semien. Third, Rafael Devers. Shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr. Left, center, right, we got Kyle Schwarber, Cedric Mullins, and Ronald Acuna Jr. Pitchers, we've got Jacob deGrom, Kevin Gausman, Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, and Corbin Burns. And in the bullpen, we've got Mark Melanson, Craig Kimbrell, Josh Hader, Liam Hendricks, Kenley Jensen, Alex Reyes, and Jake McGee. I'm maybe gonna do a video like this for the end of the season after it's all said and done, my MLB team of the year. Again, let me know in the comments, guys, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree with some of the picks? Let me know your opinion. I love to talk sports. Follow me on social media as well. The links are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, have a great day.